Okay, now that you have all your object lines complete in your drawing, now we need to do what's called annotating the drawing. Annotating drawings, adding dimensions, notes, leaders, center lines, hidden lines, those kind of things. So the first thing you're going to do is, in AutoCAD or CAD packages, we try to do layer objects. So we layer different entities on its own specific layer. So if you come up here where it says layers, you're going to click here, click on the down here, and you turn on the dimension layer if you have the dimension layer. I'm trying to understand if some of you have the dimension layer or don't have the dimension layer. But you don't have the dimension layer, you click on layer properties, and then this menu will come up. And then you come over here, and this will add a new layer, and then you call that layer dimensions, and then change that layer to a different color. So I'm already using that layer, so I'm going to say dimensions 1. So then I'm going to change that layer to a little bit more of a primary color, so I'm going to hit red. Alright, now you're going to start adding angular dimensions. There's two different ways you can put dimensions on here. You can click on this icon right here, which is does multiple dimensions, multiple different types of dimensions. Or you can click over here and then select angular. So I'm going to do both of them for you to show you the difference. So let's do the angular ones first. So I'm going to click on angular, come over here to the first line. So I'm going to click on this line and then click on this line, and then there's my angle. Now there's one thing I forgot to tell you is, we're still on active layer 0, but we want to be on that new dimension layer. So I'm going to select that new dimensions layer. So now that layer is active. Notice it turns it to red. So all the entities on that layer will be red. So again, I'm going to click on angular. I'm going to select this line, and then select the location. So you're going to want to try and keep the locations pretty much exactly the same as what I have on the sample drawing I gave you. So if you take a look here, you notice the 45, and I brought that outside of the geometry just to create room for that 118. Okay, so I can come back here, so I can click on this, and then I get all these blue dots are called the grips. So I'm going to take this middle grip, I'm going to bring it down, and then move it. Okay, so I can bring it back in here, move it till I see what I like. All right. Now Control Z is my undo too. All right. Notice I grab that other grip and see how it acts a little bit different, and I kind of like that a little bit better. All right. So get in the habit. Control Z is my undo. So again, now the other way I can add dimensions. I click on dimensions. Now this can add multiple dimensions. So see how the object snaps will snap the lengths. I can click here and I click there and then get my dimension. So I click on this line, click on this line, and then I can get my angular dimension. So basically what you're going to do now is go through your whole object and click and locate those angular dimensions. And if you did the geometry right, all your dimensions should turn out. Okay. All right. Now, so basically I went through and placed all those dimensions. Now you should notice something, that 2 of my dimensions are carried out to the second decimal place. I just put that in there to make sure that all your geometry is correct, but you need to set that annotation to those 2 decimal places. So how we do that, I'm going to select on both. I'm going to make both of these active. So I have them selected. Then I'm going to right click and go into properties. Now under properties, I'm going to scroll down where it says primary units under angle precision, And I'm going to change that to 2 decimal places. And then it shows those 2 decimal places. Okay. Then I'm going to escape to deselect it. Now, you've created the line types, or you created the lines, and now you created the dimensions. Okay, let's go. Okay, so hopefully you got that last 2. All right, now from here, I want to select the lines, and I want to create a different line weight for the lines. So if you look at your drawing, I have line weight equals 0.53 of a millimeter. All right, so go back to your drawing. Okay, the 0.53 of a millimeter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this line, right click, and go select similar, so they're all selected. Come up to your line weight, your properties tab, and notice that right now it says I did have mine at 0.53, so if I change it to 0.5, you don't see anything. To see something, I need to click on line weight settings and display line weight, hit OK. So notice the lines are much thicker. So again, select one line, right click, select similar, come over here, change it to 0.53. Now all the time that you are viewing or drawing, you typically don't draw with the line weight on. So we're going to come back over here and turn the line weight off. Alright, now you're almost completed. Alright, next thing you need to do is you need to add the all the text, all this text up in the corner. So all the text up in the corner you need to add. Okay, the way we add text, there's 2 different ways. You come up here to text, you can arrow down, and you can do multi-line text. Then you come over to your drawing, and then it's just basically a text box that comes up. Leave all the formatting the same. Actually, I want to do it, I'm going to change your layer back, so go back to home. I'm going to exit out of here, so just hit escape. Change this layer back to layer 0. Then I'll go to text, multi-line text, and then drag a box. And then you're gonna go through and type in all that text. Alright. Now, once you have all that text in there, then you need to also label your drawing from each point. So I'm going to go back over here, single line text. I'm going to click the location, and just keep hitting enter. Alright, I'm going to just start with A. Then I'm going to click outside the text and then hit escape. So then I'll click on the text, move it to the location I want. So I'm grabbing that grip. Then you just right click on it and you will copy selection. And I'm going to say that here's the base point, somewhere around there. And basically all I'm doing is going around my drawing and placing that text in there. Alright, try to keep it to the same locations that I had on your print. So then once you place it all, then you go back on your drawing, just double click on it and change it from whatever letter it needs to go to. Alright, from here, then you're going to go on your ANSI title block. Why things are not working down there. So you click on your ANSI A title block. Now there's your drawing. All right. Scale is really small. So then I double click inside here to make that active. I can hit Z for zoom, enter, and E for extends. All right. So then I double click. Notice that you got a heavy title block or border here. Then I will double click outside the border to lock it in. Now notice my text up here is not located right, or not. It's underneath my graphic. So I'll double click again, and now you can just scroll your middle mouse to change the zoom, or you can hit zoom enter, and let's say we're gonna go 0.9. Okay, zoom enter 1.1 until you get it. The title block that you want. So then I double click outside of it to lock that in. Now it's time that you're going to come in and enter the part name. So you double click on this, enter drawing number, double click on that, enter material, double click, and put the correct material on there, and also with the date. Once that is all completed, review your drawing, send it to the printer, and then hand it in.